If you're a pastor and you feel underpaid, then this video is for you. What if I told you that there was a very real way to turn the sermons that you're already preaching every single weekend into an extra $10,000 or $100,000 per year? If that sounds crazy, give me 6 minutes and I'll show you how. If we haven't met yet, my name is Justin Koo and I help pastors like this guy generate $17,000 in as little as 30 days by leveraging these sermons that they're already preaching. But before I show you how, let's talk about the elephant in the room. For many of us, the idea of being paid to preach probably feels a little bit uncomfortable. After all, none of us want to be the televangelist eating caviar on our private jets. In other words, the reason why we signed up for the ministry was not to become wealthy. We answered the call in hopes of serving people and preaching the gospel. And yet, somewhere along the way, that good-hearted intention may have been taken advantage of. One of my students recently preached a 10-part series for the youth camp, and he got paid a whopping $500. On the one hand, that's better than nothing, but let's be honest. $500 for a week away from the family and over 100 hours of sermon prep, that's just not sustainable. Whatever happened to not muzzling the ox while it treads the grain? So what exactly is the solution? It starts with a paradigm shift. Most pastors have been trained to think that their primary job is to preach sermons and teach the Bible. And while that's certainly part of the job, there's one thing that they don't teach in seminary that might be costing you tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Your job isn't just to deliver biblical content. Your job is to help people experience transformation. Your highest calling isn't just preaching sermons, it's guiding your church into real and lasting transformation. We've all seen it before. Pastors who preach every weekend might even have a growing congregation and a big platform, but their members experience little to no transformation. And I think that we would all agree that the true measure of healthy ministry isn't just how many people are in the room, it's how many people are being renewed, healed, and discipled into the image of Christ. So here's the challenging question. Are you focused on delivering content or helping people experience real transformation? Because one of them makes you a speaker, but the other makes you a faithful shepherd. And this is where your greatest opportunity lies. In other words, when you understand what type of transformation you can consistently help people experience, you will have solved the secret to sustainable ministry. Why? Because very few people will ever choose to pay to hear a sermon, but people pay for transformation all the time. And chances are you've already seen that transformation firsthand. Think about those sacred moments in ministry. When someone pulls you aside after the service, their eyes are full of tears and they say, "Your ministry saved my life," or "That series brought my marriage back from the edge." Think about what those words actually mean. You, through the Holy Spirit, have provided the kind of transformation that is priceless. And I actually say that it's priceless because the alternative is devastating. Think of it this way. What is the cost of not helping that young man find freedom from addiction? What is the cost to the kids who see mom and dad choose to go separate ways? What's the cost to a community when someone they love gives up entirely? Understanding this is the key to monetizing your ministry. This is what no one teaches you in seminary. You've already been taught how to preach, you know how to care for people, but what no one teaches you is how to structure your ministry in a way that's both sustainable and scalable without burning out and compromising your calling. That's why I think that digital tent making is such a powerful opportunity for mission-minded leaders just like you, because when it's done right, it doesn't just create more impact, it also creates more income. You see, the very thing that makes ministry powerful, depth, consistency, and transformation, these are the same things that people are excited to invest in. And here's the best part. When you start thinking of it this way, your ministry is no longer limited to one Sunday or one sermon, because now you have a model that allows you to disciple people week after week after week and earn a sustainable living while doing it. That's what tent making makes possible. Not just more content, but more discipleship. Because discipleship doesn't just happen in 30-minute segments once a week. It actually happens over time through relationship and accountability and spiritual formation. When you walk with someone week after week, helping them to apply the gospel to their identity, to their struggles, and their purpose, this is when real transformation actually sticks. This is where disciples are made, not just in the crowd on a Sunday, but a community walking in freedom. If getting started feels a little bit scary or overwhelming, just know I've actually been there too. For years, I preached and taught for free. I gave everything I had to the ministry without ever asking, might there be a better way to sustain it? I know intimately what it's like to worry if I can afford to continue saying yes to God's call on my life. But then I learned the secret of digital tent making. When I learned to position what I do around the transformation I help people experience and not just the content that I was delivering, everything changed. This paradigm shift led me to do one simple thing. One simple Facebook post, and 2 weeks later, I generated $37,000. No ads, no sales call, just a simple two-step process that has made me and my students hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's exactly why I created the Digital Tent Making Workshop, to break down that strategy step by step, so you can skip the years of trial and error, and you can copy what's already been proven to work, and finally build a ministry that's both spiritually effective and financially sustainable. Click the link below this video to check it out.